Ow. Alright guys, for today's video, as you can see, we're back here on the demonstration hood of the Z28, and here's a license plate. It's no longer active. It hadn't been tagged since 2012. It was from my white Camaro. Whenever I get that back on the road, I'll have to get a new plate. So this is a perfect demonstration for this. Now, why am I doing this? Well, as you can see in the thumbnail, I am not a fan of the surveillance state that we live in, and it just keeps getting worse. Worse and worse and worse and worse, and we need to start fighting back against this. Now, I am not a political channel in any way, even though in some of my videos I will make barbs at politicians because politicians are assholes. They suck. Aside from maybe one or two, they don't care about you. They only care about lining their pockets and getting more power. I especially like to call out Gavin Newsom because he's an absolute twat. But with that being said, we need to start doing something about this crazy world that we are living in. So, a little backstory. I went to Lowe's a week or two ago to go buy, I don't even remember what it was I was getting, but I pull into the parking lot and I noticed that right at the ends of the parking lot, hidden in the trees, because you know if you have a lot of parking lot that have parking spaces and that little median, they'll plant trees there. Hidden in the trees, I spotted a flock camera tower. And put a flock camera right here on the screen. And I'm sure you guys have seen this. If not, start paying attention to them. So what this is a flock camera. This is, in some areas, have been known as a license plate reader, which essentially it does read license plates. But what it is an AI-powered camera that you never voted on, you never agreed to, you never approved, you never had any say in this or whatever, that just keeps popping up over places to spy on you, okay? Here is the CEO talking about this himself.
The CEO of the AI mass surveillance company Flock has gotten nearly 100,000 cameras into 49 states without most people's knowledge or consent.
So we just started doing it and just kind of brute forced through pain and sweat. Our customers have no idea what version of camera they're on. They think they have the Flock camera. We're on version like 4.6 or whatever.
Not only does the CEO say that, he also goes on to talk about how it's not just about spying on people. He wants to also influence the people in government to make sure that his product can continue spying on people.
We always say, like, it's not just the technology. We have very strong opinions on the policies and the types of people that we think we need in elected roles to help achieve that mission. And so that would be the big picture for me. In the U.S. history book, there'll be a part about Flock and how, because of Flock, we are a safer, happier, healthier company or country. And like, that might sound crazy, but like that as I believe is our life's mission at Flock, is to achieve that.
He has also said that for anyone that disagrees with this, they are terroristic. Case in point right there. So now, what the Flock camera does, as you drive by, the Flock camera will take a picture of your license plate. It'll then send that off to a database, and it can be flagged for any given reason, okay? But not only does the Flock camera take a picture of your license plate, it takes a picture of the car itself. If you have any bumper stickers on it, any sports team stickers, any sort of identifiable features on the car, it will take pictures of that and document it. It will take pictures of, if you have a truck, what's in the bed of your truck at that time as you drive by. If you have people in the car and it can see into the windows because your windows aren't tinted or the windows are down or something, and it takes a picture at the right moment, you can see who's in the car and what they're doing at that given time. It is spying on you nonstop, and then it is taking that data and it is sending it off to the cloud to sit around to be used and accessed by whomever. While the Flock cameras are also doing this, they are building a profile on you. So let's say you live in an area that has, like in that Lowe's parking lot, right there, I saw 3 Flock camera towers. Okay, now let's say I drove through the parking lot, drove through all 3. It noticed it took pictures of me at this camera, this camera, this camera. Then say I pulled down, I went down the road or wherever to some other camera, or maybe a town that decided that without your knowledge or your permission, decided that they were going to start using Flock cameras to track you. So then it'll take a picture of me over in said town, and then when I'm done at that town, I'll go over to whatever, and then I'll head back to my house. The Flock cameras have tracked me everywhere I have gone, and they will continually do that, and it will build a profile on you and what you do and whereabouts you go. That is horrifying, because now we have something you never voted on, something you never approved, something you don't agree with, that is tracking you, figuring out who you are, building a profile, and having all your data saved who knows where. Okay, more on these flock cameras. They have been used multiple times in multiple areas. I'll attach them here, just a small section of fraud and stuff just by the police themselves, right? Okay, there's a lady who went and found out that she was flocked 180 times in a month's period by an ex who was a cop. There's another guy who was a cop that was stalking some person he never met, he was running security with, and then he ended up finding out where she was and pulled her over and did some sort of shit. There's a guy in Colorado, I don't have this demo here, but he was just driving his truck. A flock camera decided to take a picture of it and put a warrant on his license plate. So every time he goes out now, he gets pulled over because the flock camera will ping it. It'll send out an alert. A cop that will be by will see a warrant flash up on his computer, and the cop will then go pull the person over, and then they have to decide, why is this warrant on here when it shouldn't actually be there? The guy cannot get the warrant taken away. The police can't do it. The county can't do it. The town can't do it. The DA apparently has no interest in doing it, and the flock cameras just keeps tagging them anyways. This is out of control. We should never, ever deal with anything like this, okay? Now, it should be said, when you are in public, the right to privacy should not be expected, okay? So like if you're going around, going to, I don't know, just going to the mall, walk around, you have these dumbass kids doing some stupid ass TikTok dance, it shouldn't be expected that you can just kind of walk, like make them shut that down so you can just walk by without being in the video. Okay, that's fine, that's understandable. But because privacy is not expected does not mean that we get to give it up because some smug tech bro prick thinks that we should be able to do it also that he can make some more money and take away your rights, okay? We have the Fourth Amendment in this country that protects against unwarranted searches and seizures. Every time a flock camera is taking pictures of your vehicle and your action of where you're going, that information is being saved, and then anybody that has access to that information, be it local police, be it federal police, be it anybody else that they're cooperating with, private insurance companies that can request access to this, they can go and search on you, on your car, on your travels, on where you've been without a warrant. That is bullshit. Now, to add to that, do you guys remember seeing this dystopian video from the Super Bowl ad with the Ring cameras?
This is Milo. Pets are family. But every year, 10 million go missing. And the way we look for them hasn't changed in years. Until now. One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search Party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs. Since launch, more than a dog a day has been reunited with their family.
So that video, it's under a different name, but Amazon was teaming up with Flock itself to make that little dog tracking, never have a lost dog thing again, because God forbid, people don't just put collars and tags and microchips and all this stuff on their dogs. It would never, ever be used for any other reason than tracking lost dogs, right? It's not like Amazon ever has in the past worked with police to just give away your Ring camera footage to the police without asking you at all, since your Ring camera footage is saved to the Amazon cloud service. It's not like that ever happened, okay? Luckily, there's enough backlash, pushback against that bullshit dystopian spying through the Ring cameras that Amazon quashed that. So that doesn't exist anymore. But it doesn't change the fact that these flock cameras still are around, still existing, still are spying on you, and that needs to stop. And not to mention also, on top of that, we already have like speed cameras, which are bullshit, because speeding isn't even the cause of most of the problems in this country. Distracted driving is, okay? Anecdotal here, but I was driving on an interstate a month or so ago. I was going into the left-hand lane. The left-hand lane is for passing. I was trying to pass. I come up on a car. The car is going 10 miles an hour below the speed limit in the left-hand lane. I had a bunch of cars pass me on the right, pass me on the right, pass me on the right, until finally I was able to go around and pass on the right. I look over, that asshole is sitting there driving, texting on their phone, 10 miles an hour under the speed limit on the interstate in the left-hand lane. That pissed me off. But what pissed me off even more is I looked back when I was going to pass, and behind me was a cop, was a trooper. So I'm like, good, they're going to get this guy. I pass, I go around. I look back in my mirror, in my rear view, and as I'm going, and what do I see? I see the trooper coming up, getting into the right-hand lane, passing that car, and then continuing on. They didn't even bother to pull over the car. That was causing all the goddamn problems to begin with. So when they have speed cameras say, oh, this is for protecting people, no, it's not. All it is to freaking choke you and squeeze you dry for even more of your damn money because they want to fund bullshit that doesn't matter. That's all speed cameras are. And then also on top of that, you have traffic light cameras to where, let's say you run a red light. You don't come to a complete full stop. It will take a picture and then you'll get a ticket in the mail because you ran a red light. It doesn't matter the context of the situation. It's just a way of making money off of you. So if you are coming home from your second or third shift or whatever at 3 a.m. in the morning and you come up to a road where there's an intersection where there's a light that is known to not really ever work correctly, the timing is all terribly off, and you go there, there's not a single other soul on the road, there hasn't been another car that has gone through the intersection for the past 2 hours, and you go up there and you stop, you look around, make sure nothing's coming in, and you decide to go and continue on, you can get a ticket for running a red light, even though the context of the situation, nothing bad had happened because the light is fucked up. All right. So it is just a way to take money from you. Unless, in my personal opinion, unless the car is seen, you are seen breaking the law by a cop in progress for something traffic violation, that traffic violation didn't even happen. Okay. That's my personal opinion. And let's add on top of that, maybe, I don't know. This is just I'm just spitballing here, pure conjecture. Maybe there is a private Spanish company that came in to bid to build a toll lane on an interstate in your area and was the only bidder of it. And this company decided that, hey, we're going to overestimate the amount of revenue generated on this project as they do in every one of their projects to get the approval of it. We're then going to take the taxpayer money. We're going to use that to build the roads at go way past the deadline and we're supposed to without getting fines. We're going to use your money to build the roads inappropriately for the correct amount of traffic that goes on it. And then we are going to then have all of the money that is made from the toll roads, bringing to our contract that all of that money, it is enforced by the state, but all that money goes to the same private Spanish company to take for their profits on their own. And what the Spanish company is then going to do in the next 5 to 8 years, when they don't make the money that they claim they're going to do, they're going to declare bankruptcy to not have to pay back any of the money to the state. And it's all going to fall back onto the state to maintain, to rip up the roads, to redo them correctly, to put in the lanes that should have been there in the first place. Pure conjecture. Why would that ever happen? Anyway, so needless to say, I've been getting pissed off about this and I've been looking for solutions of how to get away with this or how to fight back. I shouldn't even say get away. So what I have found, there's several sorts of solutions. You can look into this all on your own and you can see what you want and try what you want, but they have like some sort of paints, some sort of maybe covers that you just cover up the number here with the exact same number that reflects light or something. But the thing is also now a lot of these fixes are for the cameras that actually take pictures that shoot a light, that flash, that reflect the light back at them. They don't really do it anymore. Flat cameras use IR, which if you know the visible light spectrum, Roy G. Biv, IR infrared is below the visible light spectrum of what we can see. So even with a flash hider or whatever, it's not going to block the IR signal. So what I came across, and this is in no way a sponsored video, I found this on my own. This is what I'm going to try. I'm going to try it out, but I found this thing called camerastopper.com, I believe it is. I'll put the link in there. And what it is a person, I don't know, a small business that takes a clear license plate cover and puts a distortion film underneath it. And as you put it over the license plate here, as you can see, the numbers and everything are still clearly visible. Now, take in mind, listen to this. This isn't by no way legal advice, okay? You do whatever you think that you want to do, okay? But in the state of North Carolina, it is against the law to cover up the plate in any way that blocks the numbers, the inspection, say what plate it is, like similar to that, okay? It's supposedly against the law. If you look at me, I can see this number perfectly fine. This is great. I'm looking at it straight on. But here's the beauty of this one. All flock cameras, speed cameras, traffic light cameras, they're all mounted up at a higher angle looking down. So let's say I'm going by and I don't want to be tracked by this fucking flock camera. Oh, look at that. Now you can't take a clean IR picture of my license plate. Oh, you can see the last numbers. What are the first ones? Oh, okay, this. All right. But by all intents and purposes, it is completely and utterly unblocked. I am going to run with this. If, for whatever reason, I get pulled over or a ticket for this, I will go to court and I will fight it because, one, that law in North Carolina was written in 2010, long before flock cameras came into existence. And secondly, you need to know about this, about the justice system, right? Okay. Laws only exist because we as citizens allow them to exist. And we're not going to dispute this, right? Murder. Okay. Murder is bad. All right. We shouldn't just go around murdering people for no reason. Don't do that. We can all agree that that is against the law. But then there's that Gary Plachette. Sorry, I screwed his name up, but here's the video of him. He's an American hero as far as I'm concerned. Gary Plachette, what he did is he had his son in a karate class, okay? His son ended up being sexually assaulted. I only know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. You can't even skirt around these things. By his karate teacher. So his karate teacher was going on trial. So what did Gary Plachette do? When they were parading him by to go to trial, he was at a payphone, turned around, blasting him right in the head. To me, that's protecting your kid. And you know what? The court saw it that way too. He got off with just a little bit, like maybe 10 hours of community service or something. That is justice served. Okay. That is not murder. That is justice served. So as we can see, you shouldn't kill people, but you also shouldn't SA children. Okay. So two wrongs sometimes cancel each other out. But now with that being said, all laws only exist in this country because we as citizens allow them to exist. If a law shouldn't exist, we have a duty as an American for mass non-compliance and fight back against the laws, okay? 2, when it comes to this, if something goes to trial, you guys need to understand this. We have a thing called jury nullification, okay? When something goes to trial, there are 2 things on trial at that point in time. There is the person on trial for breaking the law and the law itself, okay? If the person broke the law, the person can be guilty of breaking that law, but if that law is invalid as ruled by the jury of his peers, they can rule not guilty for the person breaking that law and the person goes scot-free. So my example earlier of running a red light at 3 a.m. in the morning where no one is on to town going down the road at all and getting a ticket for it, did he break that law of running that red light? Yes. Did it hurt anyone or anything in any way, form, or fashion? Absolutely not. So jury can go, not guilty, not guilty. And then it's go. That law doesn't mean shit. That person doesn't have to pay a fine. Everything's all good to go. If you are ever on a jury, you get jury duty in the country, make sure that depending on what it is, listen to me, depending on what it is, you should pursue jury nullification to avoid all of this nonsense that we have going on here. Okay? Try and get rid of all these laws we shouldn't have. All right. So now with all that being said, this is what I'm going to go with on my vehicle. I'm going to install it now and show you kind of like what it looks like on the car. And then you guys can research this on your own, see what you like, do what you want to do. It is up to you for you to decide how much you want to push back and what you want to do. But again, we never voted on any of this. And there's a giant pushback on AI or data centers right now for AI and stuff, as there should be. I want you to understand that those AI data centers, they're not for making those really shitty pictures or that shitty music that a lot of people use that for. You can download large language models native to your own computer to do all that you want. All of these data centers is to go and to store your information to spy on you in some given way, be it through cameras, be it through monitoring your text messages, tracking your information, what you do online. It doesn't matter what it is. That's what the AI centers are being built for, and we need to push back against all that. There has been a pushback against a lot of flat cameras in some places Places like Flagstaff, Arizona, Hillsborough, North Carolina, they're stopping working with these, which is great. And it needs to happen all over the place. We need to get rid of this. But the only way we start is by fighting back. All right, guys. Now I'm going to go put this on the car really quick. It's simple. If you know how to put on a license plate, you know how to put on the cover over top of it. I'm going to pop on the car. I'm going to show you what it's look like. And I'm going to show you a couple more options of something that you may want to look into doing. All right. There you can see I have this one installed. As you can see, you can still read the numbers on the plate. Perfectly fine, no issue at all. But then when you get up here where camera angle is for a flock camera or something like this, they can't read it. All right, so fuck a flock camera. That's all I gotta say about that. Fuck all those cameras, fuck all the surveillance state. Now, with this being said, I'm gonna show you a couple other options as your duty as an American, things that you can do if you happen to come across these things in the wild, especially just on like a random country road in the back of nowhere where no one really is, then you don't need to see it, or it's in your neighborhood that you didn't agree with or anything like this. You do have options. Right here, you have some paint, you see it. Maybe you want to redecorate it to make it look kind of pretty. Paint does come off, so think about that. If you don't want to take it all the way down, you do have a old trusty drill right through the center of the camera itself. You know, nice and it still makes it look like it's there without it being functional, just saying. You have a death wheel, cutoff wheel. Make sure you get a good, nice, large wheel on there. Or, you know, you have a Sawzall. Sawzall is great. You want to make sure, if you're taking twos, you want to make sure you get a metal cutting blade. All right. Higher tooth count, smaller things, so it'll zip right through it. Obviously, these are both corded tools, but they make a battery version of it. And then you have your old trusty hammer. Okay. Get it on the ground, smash it up. And again, none of this is legal advice or anything like this, but we need to start fighting back. So that's what I'm saying. Now, I showed you one I did. It's camerastopper.com or something like that. I'll have the link in the description. Also, too, what you can look at is there is deflock.org, and there's a deflock app that you can download. And what this is that people are going around and they are documenting areas of where they see flock cameras, so they can let people know of places where they are, which direction they're pointing, and how to avoid them to make sure you are not caught up in that situation. But I'll put both of those links down there. You can get the app in any app store, I assume, and then you'll get you just go to the website. There's also haveibeenflocked.com, I think you put down there, that you can type in your license plate to see if anyone has used the information that is publicly available to see if you have been flocked as someone trying to track you now. Now, with that being said, if it comes back saying you haven't been flocked, that doesn't necessarily mean you haven't, because the information that it pulls from is only the publicly available information that is out there. So if there's some departments haven't made their information public, you can it doesn't mean you haven't been flocked. And I should also say that there is a guy who bought an old flock camera off of eBay and was able to hack into it in 30 seconds to then use it however he sees fit. So fight back against these things, guys. We do not have to live with this tyranny, and it is our duty to make sure it stops. So, all right, guys, that's all I got. If you have any other tips for this, let everyone know. Spread the word. Just let people know. Let them know about flock cameras in general. I mean, you can spread the video if you want, but just have people start knowing so you can start fighting back. But all right, guys, that's all I got for today. So like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff, and I'll see you next time. Later.